Hello everyone, and welcome to Commerce Mortgage's How to Make Money with Commerce REALPro webinar. My name is Coy Peltz and I'm the Director of Development for REALPro, and I also have Lori Flores, the Marketing Manager for Commerce Mortgage, on the webinar with me, along with Tyler Morton, who is a owner of several different RE/MAX franchises. So Tyler's actually going to help us along here today and show us some of the things that his agents are doing to be successful with REALPro. Everyone in the webinar today has been muted. We keep everyone muted in order to keep the audio quality from being interrupted by phones ringing or dogs barking. Lori and I will play dual roles on this webinar. Typically I would provide the content, and Lori keeps me on my toes to let me know if we have any questions or not. We want everyone to leave this webinar today feeling good about what you learned today regarding REALPro. If you have any questions whatsoever throughout the webinar, please type them in the question box. Lori will review the questions, and she'll let us know as soon as any questions come in from the audience, and we'll try to answer all the questions today as they come in, so don't be afraid to ask. Commerce Mortgage hosts 3 REALPro webinars each month: REALPro Basics, REALPro Features, and How to Make Money with REALPro. We typically refer to these REALPro webinars as REALPro 101, 201, and 301. Today you are on the How to Make Money webinar, or REALPro 301. This webinar is intended for real estate agents who are power users of REALPro, but anyone at any level will learn something today. We'll cover topics, several different topics like how to market to for sale by owners, HUD Homes, how to market pocket listings and marketing to builders, and managing both time and data. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead and give the screen over to Tyler. I think Tyler is going to do most of the presenting today. So let me hand this over to Tyler. There you go.
All right. Perfect. Hope everyone's doing well today. We're going to run through things pretty quickly, but if you do have questions, do not hesitate to ask. Coy will be answering the questions as we go. So you can see I've got a REALPro site up here for Lexi Thompson, and the good news is she looks a lot better than I do. But we're going to dig right in and show you, how you can make some money, whether you're a pro agent or an agent that just does not have a whole lot of listings right now. We're going to show you some things that you can do to really increase your business using Commerce REALPro. So we've used my office as a test for a lot of these things that we're going to show you, and I know that they work. I literally have had agents come on that have had, one of the agents that came on board with my office came on with 25 years experience with 0 listings in his pipeline and literally doing nothing but this. Has absolutely crushed it. I think he's set to make well over 6 figures this year, and has probably 10, 15 listings in his pipeline, and he's got probably 10 to 15 active buyers that he's working with. So the first thing I want to show you, if you do not have listings, or maybe you want some more in your pipeline, we have something called open listings. And if you guys aren't familiar with open listings, HUD Homes are open listings. You may be rolling your eyes thinking, hey, this is going to be a terrible experience. It's not. These are actually some of the easier foreclosures to work with, and it's super easy. The great thing about them is I can actually get on here and pull up any, let's just click on California. I can pull up any listings and sort them by price. And these are open listings, meaning that I can market them as the listing agent almost. So I'm going to get down here, and I'm only going to pick whatever my price range is. Maybe in my market, I only want things over 500,000. So I want to post this 1840 Plaza Palo Alto, and that is a mouthful to say, so I'm going to do my best to try to copy and paste as much of this as I can, but I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, it's 6 beds, 5.5 baths, 4,082 square feet. We'll see how much of this I can actually remember. But I'm just going to go back over here to add listing manually on my REALPro site. And we'll go ahead and paste this in. And again, I'm going to have to go back and forth just a little bit to make sure that I get everything. But literally, I'll have a listing up much, much faster than I ever would putting it in the MLS. MLS. And we've got some cool things that we'll actually show you. So it's San Diego County. And I've got some great benefits that I can actually do that help me as the agent. So we've got this one listed for $749,000. It's 4,082 square feet. It was built in 2008. It is a 6-bedroom, 5 full bath, 5 half bath. I'm sorry, 1 half bath. And I can put in amenities. Let's say this one has a pool. Anything that I want to add as an amenity, I can add in there. So I'm not sure if this one does or not, so I actually will remove that. But scroll down. If I need any other information, I can get it from here. And the description is going to be the most important part. So this is actually what shows up on your syndication sites like Zillow and Truly on hot pads. So I have a unique benefit using REALPro that I don't have with the MLS. I think most of the MLSs have taken away the ability for us to go in and put, call Tyler Morton for more information and put my phone number. But when I syndicate to those sites, I absolutely can. So I say call text Tyler, and this is Lexi, but we'll just put Lexi in there. Lexi Thompson, and 555-555. And then I'd go on to write my general description about the property. For time's sake, I'm going to leave that off. But there are some things that you do need to put on there that will add in. The best part is, one of the things that HUD requires is that when you're marketing a HUD property, you have to explain to them that you're not a listing agent. The easiest way to do that is actually to say, the best part is I represent you, the buyer, not the seller. And property condition report available, I can spell today, by emailing and demo at REALPro. Put in your email address there. And lastly, equal housing opportunity. So those are just some little things that we need to put in there to meet HUD's guidelines. If you don't have a valid NAID number, I would recommend talking to your broker, but most brokers actually do have one, even if you don't know about it. So then I have some other options down here. If I want to go out and film a video, which I actually highly, highly recommend, I recommend putting that in as your YouTube walkthrough video. And the reason that we do that, when I Google one of my addresses that I went out and took a video for one of my agents, 65 Beck Court, the very first thing that pops up right under Zillow is my video. And I'm pointing to my screen as if you can see my hand, but you can't. So I can put in my walkthrough video, and the cool thing is you saw 2 videos there. When Google thinks that you are searching for a video, or when Google sees on YouTube that you have 2 videos, it thinks you must be looking for that when I Google the address. And as you can see, all I Googled was 65 Beck Court. That's why we had 2 videos show up on that front page. So going back, I definitely want to do a walkthrough. Get yourself familiar with the property. Go out there, take some photos, take some videos. I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Next. For time purposes, I'm going to steal the photo, which I don't necessarily, looks like I've already used this one as a demo. So we're just going to add a drive to this. And you might run into that now and again if somebody else is posting the property or if you've posted it multiple times. So we're going to make this active. I need to grab a photo of that property. I don't recommend stealing their photos. Usually they're not very good. But for time purposes, I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to say HUD photo. Put it on my desktop where I can find it. And go back here. We're going to, there we go. So you can see how fast that uploaded. I'm going to throw in another one just so I can show you guys some of the editing features that you have for photos. First thing you want to do, these are actually dynamically tagged and titled, so you want to make sure that you change and put in the address here. Those are things that Google looks for in search results as well. But I want to add another file. I'm going to use HUD demo, which I saw right there. This is another one I did a demo on. The really nice thing about the REALPro system, I can order my pictures however I want. A lot of times we have them on our camera out of order or on our phones. Because if you have smartphones and you're not very good at photography, there's some great apps out there to try out, especially if you have an iPhone. Check out the app called Camera Plus, and you can really get some stunning photos just by adding, a simple effect. But you can see I can drag and drop these in whatever order I want. Scroll down here. I don't need any listing documents. Click on Save. And that listing is now in the market, so I can view the website up here. It's got everything that I need, all my photos, and I can scroll down. I can share the listing with people. I can, put it anywhere that I want to: Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, email it over. You can actually print flyers, which is a really cool feature. I'm going to use a different listing for that. I say that and then I click it. So let me go back to my dashboard. If you guys aren't familiar with the flyers that are available in the system, they're absolutely fantastic. So I recommend, and the agent that I have that's doing very, very well with this, he's actually printing those flyers out. When he goes to take photos, so he's using the HUD photos when he prints the flyers, which are available from HUD Home Store. He's printing the flyers before he goes out there to take his own photos, and he's just handing them out to the neighbors. He's knocking on the door saying, hey, you've got a HUD home in your neighborhood? I know this sounds a little bit old school, but he's walking around to the next, the closest 10 neighbors and handing out those flyers, just saying, hey, I noticed you've got a HUD home or a vacant home in your neighborhood. It is available for sale now, so you know the neighborhood better than anyone. If you know somebody that might be wanting to move to this neighborhood, go ahead and pass this information along to them, because you're already becoming the good guy that's going around and letting them choose their own neighbor, and you're putting a name with a face and getting your name out there. So it's kind of a guerrilla marketing technique, kind of old school, like I said, hitting the pavement, but I highly recommend it. So let's go back onto my active listings, and we'll take a look at one of those flyers. Let's see. So let's click on Print Flyers. This will be working in the background. And I recommend checking out HUD Home Store on a daily basis. You can actually go on here. You can register as a public, or as the public, I should say, and put in your information. You can actually set to be notified via email when new properties in whatever zip codes or price ranges you want show up. So you want to be first. So here's one example of one of the flyers. I'm sorry. You want to be first to put that online. I actually have agents that are getting those online to Zillow, Trulia, HotPads faster than the agents getting them on the MLS. So if you're not competing with anybody, think of the buyer calls that you might be getting. And the last stat that I heard, actually, Zillow, Trulia, and Realtor.com are accounting for about 83% of all real estate-related searches. So you definitely want to make sure that you're there. And if you can be first, absolutely go that route. So the other cool thing that I can do on the back end, and I highly recommend doing this, you might think Craigslist is not the way to go, but you'd be surprised how many hits that will actually get your properties or your open listings. So you can see here I've got a preview button. This actually creates this really nice looking flyer. If I have more photos, it'll put them down on the right-hand side. But we've superimposed this play button over the top. So this is what shows up on Craigslist. We don't have to upload any additional photos. All we have to do is copy and paste this text, and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to go over to Craigslist real quick, and I'm not going to, well, I am in San Francisco Bay. Perfect. Post to classifieds. So we've got housing offered. And real estate by broker. Make sure that you do not put it by owner. It'll get flagged immediately. So I don't know what exact area this is. We're going to go with South Bay. And like I said, I'm winging this, so we'll put Santa Clara. You guys can yell at me later. It actually was a bypass this step. But we're going to put HUD Home for sale. You don't want it to be too spammy. Posting description, all we do is copy and paste that text, which looks like a bunch of gibberish if you don't know HTML. We put in our email address here, and I do not want to show this on the maps, so I'm going to uncheck this. Put in a little bit about the property, 749,900. It is a 6-bed, 5.5 baths. It is a home. I can't scroll up or down for some reason. There's house. Yes, it has laundry, washer dryer in unit, attached garage. Square footage, I've already forgotten. I think it's 4082. Like I said, I'm not going to post this. So we click on continue, and we get this gorgeous Craigslist HTML. Even though I checked that I did not want it, it put it on there. So we'll hit continue. I don't need to add any photos. And there you can see is my flyer on Craigslist. So super easy to do. Took me less than 3 minutes probably. And we've got everything that we need. So we would just click on publish. It will ask you to confirm the email. But like I said, I'm not going to post that one onto Craigslist because I don't list that one in San Diego. So super easy. This superimposed play button actually directs them right back to the site, which is awesome because the more views that you get to your YouTube videos, actually the more likely you are to show up on the first page of Google. So if you can get more views, obviously you're going to be higher indexed. I would absolutely post to Craigslist whether you believe in it or not. So let me close some of these tabs as I get them open very, very quickly. And there we go. So we talked about HUD Homes. We're going to talk about some other open listings. You have a really cool feature on the front of your site that says Feature My Home. I think most agents have gone away from it, and I may be mistaken. I may have some on the call that say, hey, I absolutely do work for sale by owners. But we've got this actually really cool tool where the sellers can go on here to feature their home. And all they do is fill out the information. They're basically doing the grunt work that you would normally do for a HUD home or other open listing. They're filling all that information out for you. All they do is click on select. They upload their photos. You get a notification that says new feature request. And I believe that shows up. Let's see. I believe that's in my leads as a feature request. So feature my listing. Let's see, Koi put this one in. And I can decide whether I want to approve that or not. So you may be thinking, well, why do I want to put for sale by owners on my website? Again, when people are going to Zillow and Trulia, you will be the contact associated with those listings. And you absolutely want that because so many times, the race is to be first. We want to get it on the, the typical agent will go back from a listing and immediately put it on the MLS. I recommend most MLSs will allow you up to 48 hours. I recommend putting it on REALPro first. And the reason being, if you can get a jump start on the market, this isn't just for sale by owners, this is any listing. If you can get a jump start on the market, absolutely take advantage of it. When you're competing against nobody on the 2 of the top 3 websites, your chance of getting calls on that listing are going to be exponentially greater. So the same thing goes with for sale by owners. They're going to come in as a feature my listing. When I go to my dashboard, it's going to show up on my active listings, and you can see here feature request. And I would just edit that property and make it active because by default it is a draft. So I would make it active. I would use it as an opportunity to reach out to that for sale by owner and show them all the cool things that we've done for them for absolutely no work on our part and absolutely free on their part. They've got their own website. You can now market to them. You can set them up on drip campaigns with your contact management system. You've created a new lead is what you've done. and you've created a property that you can now market, on sites where, like I said, 83% of traffic is coming from Zillow, Trulia, and Realtor.com. You can market at least on 2 of those with no competition. So I definitely recommend getting it out there. Market as many for sale by owners as you possibly can, and just send them directly to that Feature My Home link. I've seen some people do some creative things with, custom domains with this. Go to GoDaddy, buy a $10 domain, and have it redirect here. Maybe it's San Diego for sale by owners, feature free. I don't know what it is, but come up with a creative so it's not this big long lexithompson.willsellfast.com/feature_request. Give them something that's easy. And you can do that actually by going, we're going to go back to Craigslist. I'm going to show you a really cool trick here. When I go over to real estate for sale, I have an unlimited number of for sale by owners. I shouldn't say unlimited because it is limited, but literally you probably will not be able to keep up with it. So we're going to go to real estate by owner. And let's see, here's a good example, 559,000. Terrible front photo. Looks like they've got a giant RV there. So here we go. I've got their phone number. I can email. The poster actually did not include their email address, but I can reach out to them via phone if I want to take that route. Make sure they're not in the do not call list, obviously. Campsite lot, not interested, not interested. Here's Napa Valley duplex. Just trying to find, here's a vacation or retirement home, and here we go. So I know this is an Oregon coast property, but I actually have this nice little email address up here that looks like I'm trying to decode some kind of secret message. And I can actually copy and paste that and put it into my email, put it into my Gmail or whatever it is, and I send them a message. And all I do is ask them a simple question. I saw your home on Craigslist, and I was wondering if you were willing to co-op 3% if I brought you a buyer. That's it. I don't try to sell them. I don't go for the hard sell. I just go to Craigslist and I email 5 of these a day. So get on there, email 5 for sale by owners a day on Craigslist, and just ask them that question. Our response rate has been 70% that they will respond yes or no. So 70% response rate just on asking that question, and the response rate 90% of that time is yes, we will. So you say perfect. You write them back and you send them a link to this. Perfect. I'd love to feature your home on my website for free. Here's the link. Send them, a great follow-up, and then obviously we get into now they're more than just a contact. They are a lead, and again, we're competing against nobody. So the other cool thing that I've actually seen some agents have really great success posting builder listings. Be very creative with this. You don't have to limit it to HUD Homes and for sale by owners. I've had agents go out to builders. A lot of times builders won't give exclusive representation or exclusive listing contracts to a single agent. And when you show them all the things that you can do simply by putting them on REALPro, putting them on YouTube, giving them flyers, you can do this with the reps at the builder's spec home. Show them all the things that you can do, and you've immediately created a great builder relationship. So you've got some amazing, amazing things to do here just with open listings. So now I'm going to dig in just a little bit more. I'm going to show you some of the cool things that you can do. I don't know if you guys are still doing open houses. I know they're a little bit bigger in your part of the country than they are in mine. But I can actually go in here. I clicked ahead of myself. I can go into my dashboard, go into my active listings, and here we go. So I click on Start an Open House. If you guys are using an iPad, or even if you're just using a laptop, if you're doing open houses at all, make sure you're doing them correctly. 90% of the time we have pen and paper there. People don't want to sign in. They don't want to write. I've just heard that the elementary schools here in my city are done teaching cursive. So I think that's a good testament to the fact that we are going away from a society that likes to write or going into a society that likes to type. So it's really cool when they walk into an open house and you hand them an iPad with this on it. So all I did was click on Start Open House, and I hand them an iPad. Just say, hey, the seller's asked that I have everybody sign in, whether it be for security purposes or whatever reason. So I click and sign in, and I'm going to put in my information in here. Tyler Morton, there we go. Click on Next. They get asked the question, when do you plan to buy? Next. Do you have a home to sell? No, I actually don't. I'm a first-time home buyer. No, I'm not pre-approved. So this is where you get to pass off your lead to your lender, get them pre-approved, and sure, I'd love to know about new homes. So click on Finish. We're all done. That was absolutely painless as a buyer walking through an open house, right? So I click on Open House, and I need to log back in here. So Lexi. And hopefully this will log me back in. I don't ever want to save this password. There we go. So the really cool thing about this, when I open up my Gmail, I should have received, close my tabs again here. So look, I've got my open house registration. Thank you for, so this is what the buyer receives, just walking through your open house. Thank you for attending this open house. Below is the detailed information about the home you view. View property website, view printable flyer. Nobody else is doing this, guys. Nobody's following up with open houses like this. So if you're going to do open houses, do them correctly. Now the cool part is, on the back end of my site, I can go to my open house contacts. And here's all the people that have registered at my open houses. I can export these if you're using a contact manager, export them to a CSV file. You can see that I just downloaded. I've got all of their information. So there it is. There's Cindy. Let's see. I've got everything that they put in. I can open that up. I can see what they answered. Super, super easy. So you've got some really, really cool tools with REALPro. I definitely advise taking advantage of them. And if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to actually open it up for questions and let Coy take over. But Coy, did I miss anything? I think he's still.
No, I think I'm here now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, good. No, I think that covers it. I think that's some. I think these are some really great ideas that I know agents should be utilizing if they aren't already. And like Tyler said earlier, they're the guy that came over that didn't have any listings. I mean, this guy is closing a lot of deals now, and he uses this system to generate all of his business. It's so it can be very powerful. It's just you do have to take the time, like Tyler was pointing out, to either market the HUDs or for sale by owners or whatever whatever works for you. There's a lot of different things in this system you can do to generate not only listings but also buyers.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think too many times we get wrapped up, and I'm guilty of it myself. I get wrapped up in technology to things that don't make me money. These are, we went over 3 or 4 things today that will make you money. And, going back to the old saying of hit them where they ain't, I know that sounds kind of hillbilly on my part, but you want to make sure that you're marketing where people aren't. If you're marketing against people that, everybody's got their listings on Coldwell Bank or they've got them on Century 21 and RE/MAX, if you can put your listings, open listings on those sites with no competition, or if you can go hand out flyers to a neighborhood where nobody else is doing it, go do it.
Tyler, we do have a question. Someone wrote in, on HUD Home Store, the listing says exclusive. May I still use that on my website?
Yes, you can. So what that actually means, I'm going to go back to the HUD Home Store. What that actually means, when I click on a listing here, I'm just going to go back to California. When I click on any of these that say exclusive, that's the listing period. And what that means is it is available for owner-occupants only, owner-occupants, nonprofits, and government agencies. So once it goes to, let's see, that one's extended. Let's see, I'm going to click on a few here. So these are all owner-occupants, which actually give the owner-occupants an advantage. They open them up for owner-occupant bidders only, and then they open them up for investors after that exclusive period. And it looks like everything that I'm finding is exclusive. I just clicked on extended. So extended, this one says all bidders. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at HUD Homes. You may want to give your buyers, obviously, the advantage of saying, hey, this house is only available for 14 to 30 days as a owner-occupant home only. If you want a chance at it before investors come in and they're going to probably bid cash, you may want to put in an offer soon.
We also have another question. Can we market home path homes? Home path.
No, you cannot. As far as I know, and it may be different in your market, but as far as I know, we do have a couple home path agents within my office, and those are exclusive listings. So I know there are some great ones on there, but as far as I know, HUD Homes are exclusive listings. What I have seen, or I'm sorry, home path are exclusive listings. What I have seen is I've seen agents that just are not doing anything, especially bank-owned agents. They're not doing anything with their listings. They're putting them on the MLS. They're so busy. They've got 50 bank-owned listings. And, sorry, my phone is ringing in my ear. Let me ignore that. So they've got 50 bank-owned listings, and they don't have time to deal with, making sure that their syndications are correct, etc. So if you have one of those agents in your office, I would approach them and say, hey, I'd like to maximize your listings and put your listings everywhere, as long as I can receive the buyers from them. If they're not already doing it, and it's hit or miss on this conversation. It is, if they're not already doing it, it may be no sweat off their back if you take over the buyer side of that for them. Other agents, we actually had an agent in my office approach some of my other agents about this, and he was marketing them, and he was the basically featured listing on Zillow and Trulia. And all of a sudden, the agent said, well, I was just about to do that. I said, you've had 5 years to get on those sites. What are you waiting for? Like, now it's a problem, right? I said, if it wasn't them, it was going to be some agent from another office that, just bought up the ad space. So, take advantage of that. If you have those relationships with other agents in your office, offer them, some of the services that you might provide. Go out of the way and go take better photos of their listings. Put them on video. Put them on Trulia and Zillow. The door's wide open. If you're not busy, there are definitely ways that you can be.
Another question, Tyler. I have a junior broker. I need to watch this webinar. Will it be recorded? Oh, I can answer that. Yes, it is recorded, and as long as there's not recording integrity issues, we'll download it to YouTube, and I'll send the link out to everyone.
Perfect.
And I think I'm trying to see if there's any more questions. You have to kind of scroll through them here. Oh, here we go. I am new to REALPro. Who may I call for technical questions?
Coy?
Yes, Coy. And we'll put the contact information up at the end of the webinar.
Sure.
Yes, if you have technical questions, you would email or phone Coy.
I'm going to open this up real quick. Let me add a new note real quick. If you guys need to get a hold of me for any kind of questions, I'll be glad to answer them. So there is my contact information. All right. Is that it?
I think that's it, Tyler. Thanks a lot for being with us today.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate it. And if you want, you can go ahead and can you pass the screen back over to me, and I can
there you go.
Awesome. Like Lori said, here is the contact information for me. There is our toll-free number, as you can see, and you can also email me at this email address right here. You can also contact Lori or Josh Brooks as well, and you know, I guarantee one of us will get to your questions. So there's also a support section in the back office, you know, so you can actually click on the support from the back office, and you can, you know, email us your questions there as well, and that will actually send an email out to a team. So we'll all get copies of those support emails. So that is the best way probably to get a question answered quickly. So if there aren't any more questions, our next RealPro webinar will be our Basics webinar, also known as RealPro 101, and this webinar will be held on Thursday, September 12th at 10 a.m. And this is typically for new realtor partners or those looking for a refresher on getting started with RealPro. The main focus of the webinar is to provide an introductory overview of the Commerce REALPro system and to visually walk you through on how to log in and how to create your profile and enter in your first listing. So after that, we'll have a RealPro Features webinar, also known as RealPro 201, on Thursday, September 18th. And this webinar provides an in-depth and instructional overview of existing RealPro features, and will also introduce any new RealPro features that we have created, such as IDX or property search or our new flyer system. For our realtor partners currently on that haven't seen, you know, or maybe they've already been on that webinar before, I really encourage you to show up for this one next month. And again, on the 25th, we'll be hosting this webinar again. So if you can't get the replay or you'd like to tune in next month around the 25th, we will be having this webinar again, and you guys will, everyone, all users on the system will be getting a system-wide email letting you know about these next webinars for next month. So I think that's it for today, and if we don't have any more questions, I hope everyone has a good rest of their week, and I'll talk to you guys again next month.